Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our new edition of Big Brother 23 live feed spoilers. We have veto ceremony results for you in this
Yeah.
video.
Yep.
We are anticipating all of the inevitable emotional fallout that will come out of this because this is not a week about strategy. This is just going to be a week about watching people be sad.
Oh, which is why we have Coco here. Hello.
See, doesn't that make everything better? You know, Coco makes our life better anyway.
Yes, she does, don't you? Yes, you do. You are the best.
She is in fact the best.
She is an angel on earth.
She would get all of the BB bucks. We're just saying.
That's right. She gets all our BB bucks.
We're okay. We won't beat around the bush here too much because there's no real reason to build up this veto ceremony as though it's a big surprise, even if there's still a lot of intrigue that's going to come from it.
Absolutely.
Okay. Ultimately, Alyssa won the veto because of that BB bucks twist that we've seen play out. Kylan also had a second veto.
Yep. So he is saving Claire. He is putting up Brittany.
Yes.
Alyssa, no veto.
No veto for Alyssa, so this is where we are now. It is now the Joker showdown. We've got Brittany versus Derek F on the block. One of them is going to go. Who could it be?
It's still the right move. They got to break up the Jokers. I mean, really.
It's real. Okay, this is the thing. It really is. I'm not trying to just look at this with like my Claire fandom goggles or anything else with her being my winner
you
pick.
are.
I'm happy that Claire is still safe. Don't
No,
get
I
me
am
wrong. She's still not winning the game. Like, I can't really cling to that prediction anymore, but
Yeah.
I think she might be a better player than Brittany, and I personally feel like she is. But the difference is that I don't feel like Claire has someone who is willing to go to the ends of the earth for her in the game like Brittany seems to have in Azza.
Yeah, Brittany is in a bit of a better spot with that because Azza is there for her and will go to bat for her. And Derek F, the Jokers are really still a thing and they are still a team.
This is the thing, Azza. Brittany's not even in your main alliance, Azza. Like, that is the thing that just like I understand her wanting to look after her. Azza's probably a great friend. Like, I think we could say that in life. She's probably a really good person to have around. Very, very loyal.
Yes.
This has also just made her a little bit of a danger, just a tricky spot for Kylan's HOH week, and why, as you said, Kylan's probably making the right move here.
For sure. I picked Azza preseason as my winner pick. She has not been playing the way that I had hoped she would be. She is playing with her heart and her friendship and less with the strategy of the game. So for me, as the winner pick, it has been a bit frustrating.
We'll get into more of the strategic conversations leading up to this veto ceremony in just a second.
Yeah.
But, why not hit that subscribe button while you're here? That way you can stay here, get more updates throughout Big Brother 23, and check out our other coverage of some really great stuff, including Power Book 3, Raising Canaan, Animal Kingdom. We got a very busy next few weeks ahead.
And speaking of messiness, also check out our Instagram. We have a bit of a story time here. So our Instagram is Matt and Jess TV. We have a picture up of a puzzle that we were working on this weekend. Yeah. Anybody who knows me, I'm a person who everything I touch drops. Everywhere I go, I fall. So we had a bit of a puzzle mishap this weekend where we were doing a Batman Joker puzzle and I spilled tea all over the puzzle pieces and I put them on this napkin to dry out. And afterwards I was like, oh, this is so good. They didn't get stained, ready to rock and roll, put them back on the table, throw out the napkin, and a piece of the Joker's face went with it. And we didn't know until we finished. That is up on Instagram, so if you want to go and see our fails, Matt and Jess TV.
Oh, Batman's coming in. He has a message he wants to pass along. When you're fighting the Joker,
Oh my goodness.
the battle is never complete. That is why thank you, Batman. It was prophetic from the start. We were never meant to finish the Joker puzzle. Batman says so. Okay, Batman is now leaving. We will now get to the remainder of Big Brother 23.
Yeah, here we go.
Okay, so, we're doing this like in the immediate fallout of the veto ceremony. We haven't seen too much of the aftermath of it yet. But Brittany, before the feeds weren't down, before the feeds were taken down, she wasn't told that she was going to be going up at that point. And so, of course, with that in mind, I am imagining just like an emotional firestorm like nobody's business happening at this very second.
Yeah, for sure. And the fact that she wasn't told is probably going to make her pretty worried that this is the week. She is no longer a pawn. She is the target and that she will be going.
So there's some interesting conversations that happened right before this. I mean,
Yes.
starting with Alyssa, which is fascinating in a lot of ways, because the reason she didn't want to use her veto was that she was really worried that if she did, Kylan would nominate Xavier as a replacement. And obviously, she doesn't know about the cookout, but
No.
this still kind of had me thinking in an interesting sort of way, where it's like if she knew about the cookout and like Xavier had went and sold her on like I'm in this thing, and if he had presented it as not being that serious or not being something he'd go to the ends of the game with, maybe Alyssa would have then been like, oh, well, Kylan then wouldn't nominate Xavier if he's aligned with him. Maybe this could have been a way to get Derek X up on the block and out of here. I mean, this is a gigantic reach that this could ever happen.
Yeah, I think the thing is Kylan doesn't need to be in a position where he's nominating person after person after person. Like, Alyssa not using it works in his favor a little bit more, because if he nominates someone, then she takes someone else off, he has to nominate somebody else. I mean, it's getting kind of ugly there.
He's not at like full I'm nominating half the house yet, but he's getting there, and the more he does this, and he's been HOH before, like the more dangerous he becomes. And Kylan's already kind of put himself here and there with a murky spot with the amount of competitions he's won just like already.
Yeah, he has. And that's why, the idea of putting up Derek X, who has also won a lot of competitions, might not be the best move that Kylan can make, because then it leaves him as the person who has won the most competitions. And that's not a great spot.
Derek F, right before the veto ceremony, too, he started to get... All of a sudden, Derek F actually started to realize, oh, there's a chance I might be evicted. Maybe I should actually care about this now. And he's starting to be like, I don't really know if I want to go on the block here, or I want to stay on the block here anymore. It's like, well, thanks, Derek F, for bringing it to his attention, like, I don't know, a handful of minutes before the veto ceremony.
Well, I can understand. I mean, Derek F and Azza have been acting over the past few weeks like they kind of know that they're at the bottom of the cookout. And I think that that's part of the reason why they have stuck together. Of course, the Jokers with Brittany, that they have another alliance that is together, that if things are going to go sideways with the cookout, they are a trio, and this is something that they can continue to lean into. So Derek F getting a little worried, he should be a little bit worried.
We got out our metaphorical chalkboard here, and we did the math formula to try to figure out, is there actually a way that Derek F could be evicted this time around? So here's what we came up with. If everyone not in the cookout votes to evict Derek F, and then Azza, I don't know if Azza would know everyone else was doing it, or if Azza was just like giving Brittany a sympathy vote or whatever, but if that group went together and voted, Derek F could actually leave the game. Now, I don't know what the odds of any of this happening are.
Yeah, I don't know. No, it's not going to happen. I just can't see it happening.
It's Azza would have to really like be immensely like more protective of Brittany than she is Derek F, and I know she's protective of Brittany and all of that, but I can't see her like infuriating her entire alliance that has been there for almost the beginning of the game, that she's then going to be okay with this.
Yeah, it's hard because Azza has really been playing with her feelings. She has really put herself out there for Brittany a lot more than she should, where she's like, put me on the block. I'm fine to go on the block. Nobody wants to go on the block for another player. You're playing for money. You're here in the game for cash. Like, you want to win. Like, that is not how you win. So would she put herself out there again for Brittany for campaigning and stuff? Yeah, I can see it. It's going to be an interesting week with Azza, with Brittany on the block. What is she really going to do? Is she going to go hard for Brittany?
I think it's going to be fascinating just seeing sort of how some of this emotional stuff plays out. Because I think any player, when you're more than a month into a season, I think at this point, like, your grasp on reality is starting to fade a little bit, and maybe you stop thinking a little bit like you usually do. And so I think there's a chance for maybe a couple little things to go haywire. And especially, I think, Derek F's emotional state is going to be an interesting subplot because he's never been on the block for this long a period of time before.
Yeah, and now that he's starting to get a little paranoid, I mean, we've seen Brittany get paranoid about being on the block a couple times, and I get it. It's a tough spot to be in, but watching these two people get paranoid on the block, it could be very interesting.
And Kylan, I don't know if this is going to affect Derek F or not, but Kylan told him leading up to the veto ceremony that the reason he didn't want to ultimately save him over Claire is because he wanted to just sort of maintain trust with other players. And I mean, I guess he thinks he already has trust with the cookout. Derek F's going to be fine. You don't need to worry about saving him. But then being like, oh, I want to still make sure I'm okay with Claire, who's not in the cookout. I don't know how I'd feel if I'm Derek F about any of this.
Well, here's the thing, too. Getting rid of Derek F at this point could be a good move for the cookout. If the cookout really wants to continue to keep their alliance as quiet as possible and people are starting to kind of figure some stuff out, sending Derek F out now is a way to show that he and them are not all working together, that there is no cookout. It is not happening. Well, why? Derek is gone. Look at that. Brittany is here.
I will say there's a good argument in doing this mostly that what is Derek F actually contributing to the cookout strategically here?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, as sort of a strategic move to keep the alliance hidden, getting rid of Derek F can make some sense for them. Of course, that does take away one of their numbers, and nobody wants to do that, but we are at a point in the game where the other side of the house has dwindled down so much that, they would still have numbers.
And maybe some other people can start to get paranoid about what Derek F is doing as well, because last night, he was just acting very salty about Kylan and complaining to Derek X and Brittany about it. And you could always make the argument that, oh, this is Derek F just acting in order to make people think that the cookout's not really a thing. But, sometimes there's a little bit of truth within a performance.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, we know that there are some other people within the cookout not thrilled with Kylan at the moment. Azza has been mad at Kylan more or less ever since the HOH competition.
So speaking of Azza and Tiffany has worked through their differences, which is really nice. I mean, they've been sort of working together. Things are good. Things have been a little not so good, but they have worked through everything and they're back on the same page again, which is really great to see.
I hope this lasts. I really hope this lasts because it's just they need each other. I think to a certain extent, because not everybody else in the cookout is going to look after the two of them. And I don't think it's a bad thing that they play differently and that they're different people. That happens in great partnerships all the time in life.
Yeah, it does. But of course, it does lead to this, where there will be disagreements and there will be headbutting on stuff like that. But as long as you can come back to sort of this common goal, which is to get to the end together, then, it'll be all right. They'll be okay. I believe in them.
Tip of the cap to Xavier for his role in helping with Xavier, I know you're technically an attorney here. Maybe you should also look into more mediation, because it seems like you're a very, very good mediator in certain moments like this.
Xavier has been really good in the house for stuff like that, helping people through certain situations. We even saw it night one with Alyssa, where she was starting to feel a little bit overwhelmed being in the house and cut off from the world and stuff like that. He is a very good person to have in the house.
Now we have a brief update to our segment, which I don't think we've actually done this season. Oh no! Which is when somebody says something that makes you think, oh no! This time it is Sarah Beth overnight talking with Kylan and saying that she's starting to feel good about Tiffany in the game.
Oh no! So no! Oh goodness!
No, Sarah Beth! No! We're waving maybe a lot of people out there probably happy, Sarah, but Sarah Beth, you, I hope you really enjoyed jury. I hope that you have good weather over there. Yeah. This is not going to last for you very long. Okay, the final thing we have here, and I know this is huge breaking news to everybody, Kylan and Claire's punishment costumes are done. They get to, I'm sure let's all just be very, very sad about this as we go about the rest of our lives. Yeah. Okay, well, with that in mind, what do you guys want to see on Big Brother 23 moving forward? Does Brittany have even the smallest iota of a chance to you? If you were Brittany, or even Azza, who decides she wants to keep Brittany in whatever situation, what would you do? Give us your campaign ideas, so much more. And also, hit that subscribe button because Coco clearly wants it to happen. She's just like transmitting those vibes to all of you.
Coco would be so happy if you guys hit that subscribe button, help our channel grow, and so would we.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much. Hit that like button as well. We'll see you here next time.